You do not want to do this, trust me.
Mask! Copy!
All right, have it your own way.
Mask!
Copy.
What the hell is that? He's not going down! Hold the fire! Flares! Reload! Anybody see him?
Aim. He's tough, man.
Switching to thermal. Seeking target.
I love the way he's moving so organically. Power. Aim.
I don't have eyes on him. Flash grenade! Flash grenade! In the rafters!
Alright, hey guys, welcome back, Iron Beast here. So that was one of my favourite clips from the original Venom movie. I got to my computer this morning, checking emails, got my morning coffee, and I couldn't help pulling up a YouTube tab, and there it was, the official trailer for Venom 2. After a year of avoiding all of the fan-made trailers and teaser trailers and what have you, I'm glad to see the Sony sign at the bottom and watch the actual official trailer. I know a lot of people didn't like the Venom movie so much because it was slightly detached from its Spider-Man origins. I kind of like that it was standalone from Spider-Man. You know, obviously he doesn't have his Spider-Man sort of influences, and he's not slinging webs and swinging around the city and that kind of thing. He doesn't have the Spider-Man symbol on his chest and all that kind of thing. But I don't really care about that personally. I thought Venom's character was awesome. I think one of the things that made the original Venom movie so funny was the relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom's character. You know, the fact that they've got this frenemy kind of bromance at the same time happening. And I think Tom Hardy played Eddie Brock so well, you know, the kind of downtrodden personality, you know, because he's got this other more dominant symbiote kind of character in him, and it just made it, you know, really funny to watch. And eventually, until the point that instead of trying to resist him, they decided to work together, and just became ultimate. So that was really cool. That particular scene that I just played there is one of my favorites. You know, the SWAT scene, I think it's most people's favorites. I love the way that Venom's power was portrayed, the size of him, the sheer power, and the organic movement that they gave him. You know, I think there's a lot of CG. Go back to like Hulk 2, movies like that, where the CG just was a little bit, you know, a little bit garbage, really. I think the characters were good, but it just didn't have a natural kind of organic feel, whereas with the Venom character and the way that they CG and animated him, you know, it looked really organic. You could imagine that a character so powerful would move that smoothly and fast, and just with the sheer weight of him when he lands on things and crushes it. It was just so good. Even the way the SWAT soldiers, you know, bodies opened up when they were getting biffed through walls and into panels and things, you know. I think the difference between an action director that's just had a martial arts background and a movie background, and an action director that's actually had a little bit more than just normal martial arts. They've gone out there and they've embraced that period back in like the sort of late 80s, early 90s, where you were just out in the backyard practicing your martial arts and giving each other good kicking and crashing into fences and dive rolling and doing stuff and falling. And I think outside of a dojo environment, it was such a good learning period for people, because you got to see how would the martial arts interact with the real world. And of course, if you've got a SWAT soldier that's been biffed by his superpower alien, you know, the way the body reacts when it hits surfaces and contorts and falls, you know, adds to the realism of the movie. You know, everything's not just going to go sailing along like on a wire perfectly in the air and then hit a wall and crash. You know, the body folds up, something chronic, under various types of pressure. You know, my background is combat training, you know, so you see a lot of people react in a lot of different ways to impact. And so when I'm watching these superhero movies, one of the things I really look for that makes it enjoyable for me is when I see the body contort and react to the impact the way that it would in real life. You know, and I really think that they nailed that quite nicely in Venom. And of course, some other movies as well, like Marvel's Captain America and the Winter Soldier. You know, a lot of the way that people reacting to being hit was quite consistent, quite realistic there as well. But anyway, let's get into this Venom 2 trailer. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Carnage, whether or not Woody Harrelson goes over the top with his portrayal of Cletus Cassidy or not, and how the Carnage character itself is going to look. So let's get into it, guys. No eating people.
I say either. You guys say either. I say neither. And I say neither. Neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Catch up.
Excuse me.
Yummy.
That's so dry.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
Function hall, Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
It's multilingual.
I've been thinking about you, Eddie. Because you and I are the same. Every decision we ever make. Who do
Daily
we leave
Bugle.
behind? And how do we leave them? Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes.
Spider.
Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's been a long time. Miss you so much.
Woody Harrelson's hard case. He's a creep. Plays that character well.
Soon come chaos.
Oh. Oh, hey.
Chaos soon come.
Oh, mate. Crazy.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
Nothing?
Whoa. Mean. Wow. Well, that looks super cool. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing. There's nothing about these new Venom movies that I didn't like, that I don't like the look of. I do like the idea that there's not the Spider-Man link, even though maybe that's the history of the whole character in the comic books. I like the way that they've given Venom a chance to develop as its own character, aside from all that other stuff. Although they've got some storyline in there with Carnage, and you could see in there the Daily Bugle newspaper, and of course a spider on the disc, so a few hints tying back to its Spider-Man origin. I'm not sure what else they're going to put into the movie, but I'm sure looking forward to it. I think it's going to be awesome. Interesting to see what the Carnage character's like and how that CG looks, and hopefully it doesn't look too Incredible Hulk, the second Hulk kind of CG bad guy, horrible, terrible, let's forget about it kind of movie. However, I don't think they'll make that mistake with this movie. So it looks absolutely awesome, guys. Looking forward to it, as I'm sure you are too. And that's all for me now. As usual, if you've got any movies that you've seen that you'd like to see me react to, put them in the comments below and I'll get onto that as soon as possible. Until then, take care, guys.